Namaskar. Almost we have already made 2 videos that universe always tries to communicate to us, and our body has all signs and symptoms by which we can lead this life very nicely and peacefully. As we know, universe has made a mechanism for us that when the child is of very young age, the child will be having 5 teeth in each quadrant of the oral cavity, and as soon as child grows, there is a mechanism by which all the milk teeth fades away and it is being replaced by 28 teeth, that is permanent teeth, and where there will be 7 teeth in each quadrant of our oral cavity. So it is a sign for us that when our child is entering into adolescent age, the child's oral cavity will be replaced by 28 permanent teeth, where each oral cavity, each quadrant will be having 7 teeth, which is representing our 7 chakras. So we will make one separate video on koshas, 3 types of bodies and also chakras. But today we will focus on our 10th and 11th sanskar, and the 10th sanskar is Karnavedha and Sanskar. As we know, we as parents, when we have our daughter or our son is going on or meeting towards adolescent time, their genital organs, whether if it is for our son, then definitely the right hand side of it will be little bit larger compared to our daughters, and for our daughters the left hand side will be little bit larger. So that's why Almighty is giving all signs and symptoms for us to know that which portion of the body, which part of the body we need to understand that it is for differentiating between the 2 gender by which this planet Earth is being flooded with. So that's why we have, whenever we talk about the feminine emotions, we say it is very cold and wet emotions, and when we speak about masculine emotions, it is very hot and dry emotions. So that's why when we talk about the part of the human body, then we say the right hand side of our body is masculine and the left hand side of our body is feminine. So that's why they are representing it as Ida and Pingala, where Ida is being influenced by the moon and Pingala is being influenced by the sun. So this side it is influencing the pituitary gland, and this side it is influencing the pineal gland. So that's why we have one more mechanism when I think many of my friends will agree. There is another one mechanism which Almighty has given to us, which is known as childhood amnesia. Yes, few children will or we can say almost every child will remember only few things about their childhood. That is maybe their teacher name or their parents name, their home thing, but most like 90% of their things they will forget. And as they reach towards adolescent, the memory starts building strong and even more stronger. Already we have made a video that how memory works for us, how memory gets built within this human brain. So if we know that when a child is being exposed to all the 5 natural elements, that is the 5 Mahapanchabhutas, then definitely the child will have very good quality of memory. So if we take a Japamala, then definitely the thread inside the Japamala is the memory, and the beads inside the Japamala is the data. So when the child is moving from the childhood to adolescent time, the data, the beats which is there in the brain, few will go away and few will retain back, but the threads or the neurons which has got built up in the memory, which is connecting between those two neurons, that remains intact, and that is how the memory increases for the child. So these are the two big sign and the symptoms which Almighty is giving us when our child is entering into adolescent period. That means my child is now ready, and my child's body is ready for all ocean of hormones. Now it will flood in our child's body. So that's why our ancestors thought that now this is the time all the 7 chakras are getting built up in the subtle body. So how is this body is going to communicate with the subtle body? Because for our ancestors, this body was not having any importance. For them, the importance was the soul, the energy channels. So they thought there must be definitely a sign or a symptom Almighty might have given it, that where through this body we can reach to the energy channels. So if we prick anywhere in this body, we will get blood. Anywhere we prick it. So our ancestors had the knowledge that when a child or when a mother gets pregnant, the first thing which forms around 4 weeks of the pregnancy, it is ear, eyes and mouth. So ears are very important for every human being. Right from my first video, I am going on giving emphasis on the hearing capability of our every human being, how we can improve our consciousness. So every video is an attempt to bring consciousness back to our country. So that's why. So when they saw that now this is the time, these energy channels need to get all the energy from the universe, that there must be a sign or a symptom. So that's why they first focused on ear. So now, as we know, if somebody knows the proper ear piercing technique, in olden days, usually a goldsmith was doing the ear piercing sanskar for our children, because as we know, we have already made a video that how much gold is important for us, and every other metals might be any other like iron, copper, everything get rusted, but gold is very much human friendly. And why it is friendly, already we have discussed in the other sanskars, like the 4th, 5th and 6th sanskars. So now this is here is that portion where if the person or if the goldsmith knows properly, knows the ear piercing technique, then definitely he will make the shot, the ear pierce a thin gold needle and just tie it as a Karnavedha Sanskaar. Yes, and unfortunately this has become a fashion nowadays. We will discuss one small thing. This tradition was there in our country so many years back. They have remembered that this is an important sanskar. It was giving so many benefits to the human body, because this was a kind of remembrance to the human brain, because as soon as the child was entering into adolescent period, at that time, through this Karnavedha Sanskaar, the child was being given an instruction that it is a point, or it is a time for you now to receive all the information from the universe. So Karnavedha Sanskaar is always for the right ear. irrespective whether it is for our daughter or for our son, because irrespective of the gender, the right ear always carries the data to the brain faster compared to the left ear. So that's why our ancestors have seen this advantage, and they have advised that as soon as the child is entering into adolescent period, before going to Gurukula or before performing the Yogyopavid Upanayana Sanskaar, the child should have this Karnavedha Sanskaar, where the child's right ear will be pierced with a very thin gold needle. Now we will see how this sanskar took a turn, and today now it became fashion, and how greediness, that is love, entered to our body. Whenever something is very good, it is very good, we know that, but we need to put a control where to stop. That is also very important for us. So that's why in our olden days they have seen that this piercing or the Karnavedha was giving very good benefit to our children. So it is as if a new birth for the child, because as soon as all the milk teeth fades away, it is being replaced by the 28 permanent teeth. It feels as if the child is having a new birth. The child is forgetting everything, now remembering things which will be permanent for the child till the child is not entering into sannyas ashram. So till this period of time, the brain should be active. So that's why Karnavedha Sanskar should be done when the child has been replaced by all the 28 teeth and the child is ready now to go to the Gurukulas. So now what happened? Like the greediness, the lobe entered to the society slowly, and we forgot to put a full stop where to mark this, that it should not bring negativity to our society. Slowly it turned into earrings. Then nowadays people are piercing anywhere in the body. Now this acupressure, acupuncture, so many points they have increased in the ear that people are piercing anywhere in the skin in order to thinking that we are going to get this advantage or that advantage. So before becoming so greedy about any of our sanskar, we need to understand that whether our body actually needs it or we are doing it as a fashion, and then we are falling it into a trap of unhealthiness, and then we are blaming our sanskars. As we know, if somebody has said us that bitter gourd is very good for our health, so what we do? We will take some 3, 4, 5 bitter gourds, we will grind it, and then we will have 2 to 3 glasses of juice and thinking that it is very good for our health. So here we have to make ourselves understand that it is good for us, but it should be taken as a catalyst to our body. So how much bitter gourd is good for us? Only this much, and that too how we should have it? We should chew it properly. So that's why we have already made a video in that when something is good for us, we should know that how much quantity we should do it, we should take it, where to put the full stop. Otherwise, whether it is negative or positive, excessiveness of anything will definitely put us in trouble. So that's why Karnavedha Sanskar is a very important sanskar for our children. So the next sanskar is Yogyopavid Upanayana Sanskaar. So here now the child is eligible to hear or to remember himself or herself that now it is a time to explore all the Vedic scriptures, knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, cognition, and what best it can be done without a sanskar. So they have said that once we are doing the Upanayana Sanskaar, the child will wear 3 threads from the left shoulder towards the right, and it should be above the waist. So those 3 threads is a representation of Ida, Pingala and Sushumna, because when the Karnavedha was being done, it was done so that the energy reaches to our energy channels, which is in our subtle body. And now at every time we have to constantly remember that this energy channels have is being connected to all the 7 chakras. Now all the 7 chakras is being surrounded by 3 main nadis, that is Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. So in olden days we have seen ladies putting long plaits where they will tie their hair with dividing the hair into 3 portions, and then they will put the plaits. It's just a constant remembrance that we have to always remember, we have to always conscious. We cannot even take even a slightest moment of time where we can be unconscious. So the moment we are unconscious about our karma, our dharma, that is the body working, the principle which is going on inside this body, will have a disbalance. So that's why every time our ancestors, all the rituals, customs, traditions, everything is for us so that we can be conscious with all our sense organs, that is our karmendriyas and our gyanendriyas. So Upanayana Sanskar was a ritual where the child right ear was being exposed with sounds and syllables of the Gayatri mantra by the father or the guru. So during Upanayana Sanskar, like the family will take the child to the Gurukul, and the Guru will take the child to the scriptures, and scriptures will take the child to the universe. So beautifully these things are being designed by our ancient India people that we should remain ever indebted to them, because we have already made so many videos. Now people are also coming up slowly that very soon we need our Gurukul Parampara to be back to this land, to our earth as soon as possible, because it will not only make every face smiling, but it will bring a very vibrant energy flowing in our country. So usually it is a tradition, it is a sanskar where the child will perform so many. It is a very big sanskar. Even the child will go to different houses to beg for the food. So we have made our first video on Karnavedha Sanskaar, because when a mother conceives a child and when she thinks a concept like thinking as if her Om is a daan to Almighty, where she is praying to Almighty that today I am giving my Om to you, so please give me a very prosperous and very happy child. So this concept of daan, when it is there in the memory, in the mind, all the 9 months, it makes the child easier to be inside the Om with so much of intelligence. Yes, so even during Upanayana Sanskar, the child will go to different houses for asking for Viksha. So we will make one more video talking about how important is Viksha, which will give us Diksha, and then after getting Diksha, we can have our Siksha. So that's why this all things are so important for us, that it will be easier for us when we know the ground reality, that how our ancient India have described everything in a very logic and scientific way. Jai Bharat.